Okay, so welcome everyone to our team call. And tonight we have Becky Conser. Is that how you say your last name? Conser?
Conser, yep.
Conser. Okay, and Becky is a master trainer and she is in the DC area along with me. And we're both on the DC Council together. And I did personally, I didn't know like what's involved in being a master trainer. How do you get to be a master trainer? I've had people ask me this and I'm like, I have no idea, but I know somebody who is a master trainer and I thought it would be great to have Becky talk to us about that. Like, and I really don't know that much about getting certified and like, what can you get certified in and how do you go about doing that and how much does it cost and is there a yearly fee and all those good questions. And then more importantly, what good does it do you? Like, you know, how can you utilize those certifications to help your business, your Beachbody business? And how do you work? Becky, I assume you're also a personal trainer, and do you have your own gym?
No, and I'm only group fitness, so I don't do personal training.
Okay, cool. So yeah, just talk to us about the group fitness and how do you work that in and all that stuff. So take it away.
All right. Well, thank you for having me on your call. I'm really excited to talk to you guys about the part of the business that I understand and how I've kind of evolved my Beachbody business to encompass having that actual live effect and getting people in their workouts, but not just checking in with them online, but actually having them in front of me day to day and making sure that they're getting the workouts done and I'm the one pushing them to do it. 5 years ago, I did not have a job like this. I was actually an ophthalmic technician. So I worked for an eye doctor and I did the eye test. So right eye, left eye. I did it because I could do it part-time. I had really young kids and they went to preschool. So I would drop them off at preschool and go to my job and work for the eye doctor. And what I learned is that I can only do a job that is the same day to day, 9 to 5, for so long. And I cannot, I've never been able to sit still. My degree was in kinesiology. I was a dancer. I like to move. And so I was trying to figure out what the heck I was going to do with my life. I know I was already 35 and I didn't know what I was going to do with my life. And so I wandered into a fitness class at the local 24-hour, and Melissa McAllister happened to be my instructor. Lucky me, she just did it as a normal job. That was her, her Tuesday, Wednesday classes. And I sat my mat down. I had no idea what PIO was. And for the next hour, I was immersed in one of the Beachbody formats. I had no idea that it was actually a Beachbody format. I just knew that I went to the gym, and she led me in it. I was hooked from the moment the music started. I like movement. I like being connected to other people moving. It livened my spirit. And so I kept coming back to this class. And probably a month into it, Melissa, she wasn't very pushy. She always was very friendly and happy and nice, but she didn't get in my space. She let me kind of come to her. So I introduced myself to her, and she started a conversation. It wasn't like, this is what I do, you have to start my business. Like, I had no idea what she did for the first probably 6 months of taking her class. So she was really good about making sure it was like a warm market. I trusted her with my body, which meant that I trusted her with my heart. And so probably 6 months into it is when she started kind of discussing with me what Beachbody was and what she did and why she thought it would be a good fit for me, because I was in the gym anyway and I loved fitness and getting other people to move. So from there, I immediately got certified and became a coach at the same time. So in March of 2013 is when I became a coach, and that's the month that I got certified in PIO. And I'm one of those people that I like to learn as I go. And I thought, well, if I'm going to get certified in this format, I'm going to figure out a way to make sure that other people around me are working out. And maybe I don't have the vehicle of PIO because PIO wasn't out yet. But how can I get them to work out with me? And so I kind of just stumbled and I fell and I ran challenge groups. But what I was learning was, while I'm teaching these classes, because after I got certified a month in, I went in and I auditioned for 24 Hour. I got hired. They're always looking for people to teach. It's a funny thing. This business is that they always need more instructors and good instructors. So you can really find a job anywhere you go. And I promise you, I've moved 3 times since I've got a job. And every time I move, I can find positions anywhere. So it's one of those quick positions, quick places to get to more people. So anyway, I started teaching, and what I was learning was all these people that were coming to my classes. My warm market kept growing. So every week there's 2 or 3 new potties in front of me. So I get to introduce myself, introduce Beachbody in a really lively and great way to these people. And I kept growing my warm market. 5 years later, I'm still growing my warm market. There isn't a week that goes by that I don't meet somebody new. And that's really hard challenge, I think, for a lot of Beachbody coaches, is that you just don't have any channels to meet people. The other issue that I run into with Beachbody coaches is like they don't find people that are ready to start the journey of fitness. And guess what? If they wandered into a gym, they are ready to start their business in fitness. And they just don't know how to do it. So they wandered into my gym and my class. And as long as I take them on that journey and make sure that there's something positive in that aspect, in that hour, they're going to start trusting me, and I keep growing my market that way. So what I did as my fitness career, and you know what a master trainer is about a year into teaching PIO. Once you get certified, is anybody in here certified? No. Yeah, I got one. All right. What are you certified in, Armando?
Insanity.
Insanity. Do you teach it?
No, not yet.
Ah! All right. I already got homework for you.
All right.
So what I've learned is that once you get certified, it's kind of an addiction. You get this rush of being in front of people and watching these shells of humans. If they just keep coming to class, they actually grow and their shoulders start to cock back and they open their chest, and you can see the person that they wanted to be that they weren't when you teach them in fitness. And so it's an addiction. You keep getting more certifications. So within a year, I had 4 or 3 of the Beachbody formats. I was certified in PIO, Turbo, and Insanity. And I went to an audition. It was at a big fitness conference, and you just go in. It was like a cattle call. You go in and you teach a section of the class for 5-10 minutes. There were 8 of us trying out, so I was on stage, and the other people were my people in class, and then we rotated between everybody. And then at the end of it, they said, and actually when I tried out, you're supposed to have 2 years of experience underneath your belt, but I only had 1 year. I figured I'd go and learn, get checks on what I needed to do, so when I came back in a year, I could actually do the job. But luckily enough, I got picked. I don't know if it was lucky. It was more of those like, I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm going to go and jump in. So as a master trainer, what I do is I go around the country now, and I make other fitness instructors on the weekends. So if any of you come to one of my certifications on a Saturday or a Sunday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., you start out with knowledge. I take you through the master class. The first half of the day is kind of me instructing and teaching, and then the second half of the day is you doing it. So I'm going to teach you how to be an instructor. And this is my child and my dog. All right. Go upstairs.
Take her.
No, I don't need her. Go upstairs.
Take her.
Okay, I'll take her. You go. Now I'm going to do it with the dog. She's cute, though, so it'll work. So anyway, what I do is now I make other fitness instructors. So I kind of grow the fitness community, the ripple effect that you guys get to see by having coaches on your team in all different areas of the world is what I get to see with fitness instructors. So I make fitness instructors in Tennessee, and the people that I couldn't impact in Tennessee, now every week somebody is teaching there that I instructed, and they're growing these big circles of fitness. And just that influence is kind of what I do. The other cool thing is that Beachbody has a really, they understand the talent that they have. So if you become a master trainer, if instructing is the thing that you like to do and you grow in it, then you can become part of the talent team. So not only do we get to make fitness instructors on weekends, but we get to go and film all the rounds so that the instructors have, oh, no, not me. Can you still see me?
Yeah.
I can't. Okay. So I get to go and film the rounds so that they have their new material. And they do a really good job of using in-home talent. So they don't go around and just pick random people. It's like they do for the testing of the new, like the 80-day obsession. They're actually putting coaches in there, and they really have a good grasp and getting people who are using the material to actually be in it and test it. So that is another part of my job, and one of the perks of being an MT is that I get to go to LA every couple months and film. I'm in Country Heat, so if anybody does that. But if there's questions about being an instructor, that's why I'm here, but also just how it can help you as a coach is the other thing. You don't have to ever teach in an actual facility or for other people. When I started, I worked for a chiropractor's office, and they had like a little gym in the back, and I set up punch cards. It was all my own people. They came in, and then I got paid per head. So that was especially when I was growing and starting, that I didn't want any judgment. So that's kind of where I started. And now I teach for big boxes because it's easy and I don't have to market myself. I just show up for the classes and kind of use their marketing to get the people hooked. So
now, Becky, when you teach in these big boxes, you can't talk about your coaching, right? You can't talk about like Shakeology and stuff like that. So how do you convert people into customers?
You always introduce yourself at the beginning of the class, and at the end of the class you remind them what your name is. I always let them know to find me on Facebook because I'm a really funny person and they need to know what's happening in my personal life. So once they friend me on Facebook, then they kind of see my lifestyle. I walk my walk. I don't just talk about it that 1 hour in the gym. And so a lot of the times I kind of use that relationship to just build, and then I do all the sales on Facebook.
Okay. And did you talk about like how much does it cost to get certified?
It depends on the certification right now. Usually it's $249 for the day. Okay. And you walk away a certified instructor. So what that means is Beachbody is different than other corporations in the sense of, or fitness corporations. You carry the licensing. So if a gym wanted Les Mills, they have to pay Les Mills for every format. So if they have Body Pump and Body Attack in their gym, every month they're paying fees to Les Mills to carry that format. Beachbody, we do not carry any fees, so the gym can immediately put it on the schedule. So you can get certified with me this weekend or next weekend for PIO, and then in 2 weeks you could be at your local gym. The gym doesn't have to pay. You already take the logo with you, and they can put it on the schedule. Okay.
So after you get certified, you just go into your local gyms and say, do you have any openings for this?
Well, I recommend not doing kind of cold calling. What I recommend is that you actually go to the gym and take the classes. Most group fitness directors actually teach classes every week. So you kind of look at the schedule and you say, Dana is teaching PIO on Thursday at 4:30. So you go and take her class, and you are like the star student. You do whatever they do, you do it amazingly, and at the end you introduce yourself and you say, hey, my name is Becky, your class was awesome. I happen to be certified in this format, so if you ever need a sub, just let me know. So I kind of like reverse engineer it. I'd make sure that they see me working on that mat, they know that I'm a good follower, I listen to directions, and then I'm very friendly on the way in.
Cool.
Yeah.
Who else has a question? You can take yourself off mute. Anyone? Armando, I know you have a question, right? Since you're not teaching Insanity yet.
No, not yet. I think I'm ready, but I'm just, I don't know. Like I've tried to do myself, a bunch of group just to practice, just to get the feeling out and break the ice. But every time I set it up, everybody's fine with it. And when the day comes, oh, I can't make it. So it's like, and I don't want to go to the gym yet just because the time frame is off because the kids are in school. My wife is working a certain day and it's just, it doesn't work out yet. But I was planning to do, I don't know if this is a good idea, using like a Zoom call and doing it through that. So that way nobody has to meet with me and everybody's in their own house. So I don't know if that's something that might work, just to at least get them interested.
Yeah, I would try it. I'm always one of those people that fails forward. So I would set it up, try it. If it works, awesome. If it doesn't, you can say I've done that. I did a breakfast club in my neighborhood. So on Saturday, people would bring their kids. I had breakfast for them upstairs, and then downstairs, all the parents, we'd work out together when I first moved to the neighborhood. And that worked out well. One, because I was watching their children and feeding them. And two, parents need a reason to work out, and they usually use their kids as an excuse not to. So
yeah, that was their main thing. It was, I can't. The kids are back in school, or I gotta do homework, or I pick them up later. So it was just everything was set up. I was ready, and at the last minute, they're like, oh, they couldn't make it. And I had 6, which it was good. But yeah, it didn't work out.
Have you tried going into gyms, Armando? And
I tried to go. The only one that they allow is like the YMCA, and they're strict about their stuff. So I'm still waiting for them to call me because they're so booked, and the hours they need are the hours like they want me there at 5 o'clock in the morning, but I gotta take my kids to school. So it is
take your kids to school at 5 a.m.
No, I get them up at 6 and make them breakfast and pack their lunch. So if I got to be there by 5, that means I got to be there mainly 4:30 to get everything ready. The class is about 48 minutes of insanity. So my time frame doesn't work. And my wife works night shift, so she comes home at 8 o'clock in the morning. Mm-hmm. So, and all the afternoon they're packed, and they said early noon there's hardly anybody there because nobody's working. I mean, everybody's working and nobody's off, to get a good group. So I'm just trying to see what fits.
So for midday classes, I would recommend corporate fitness. So I work for the NRO, and I was at Navy Federal, I think yesterday, and tomorrow I'm headed out to like the NIH. But basically, I'm hired by a corporation to do their afternoon classes. So from 12 to 12:45 or like 1 to 1:30, they have corporate fitness hours, and those pay really well. They're always looking for instructors as well for that. There's, I think, a couple companies that actually do it all over the nation, but I would just look up corporate fitness.
Corporate fitness. All right.
And that's, again, there's places to teach and hours to teach throughout, depending on what you want to do and what's open in your schedule. So my job is, again, I'll have Greg share my contact info, but if you guys have any questions about that, or like how to get a job or where you're looking, I have a lot of contacts in the big boxes as well. Networking really works well in this business because they don't want people they've never heard of, unfortunately, but if you can get contacts, I can recommend you, then people are more willing to look at you. So
that's a good idea. I like the idea of you showing up at one of the classes like the Y. I see all the insanity classes set up, just to get the feel, for them to get to know me, because insanity really gets me going. No matter how tired I am, I'm still pushing it. So I guess if they see that energy, they'll see the value and become friends, and then from there they.
Yeah, and they need a sub. Like, we need subs all the time.
Yeah.
I'm usually begging for subs. And so if somebody comes to my class, I can always be like, this person is a participant, but they're awesome. So,
Becky, do you have to be a coach to be certified?
You do not. You do not.
No.
Okay.
You get a discount. You get the 10% discount when you sign up to become a coach, to get certified for instructor.
Okay. So what about the UK? I know that in the UK they offer certifications now, but it seems to be only a couple places. Do you know, are they going to be expanding a lot over there? And do they offer all the formats and all that
They
stuff?
don't offer all the formats. So in the UK, we have P90X, Insanity, PIO. I believe those are the three that. And Court of Force just started over there.
Yeah.
So we have 4 of those over in the UK. What the difference is in the UK is that here you can get a specialty certification. So PIO is a specialty certification. Insanity is special, without having your national certification. And my national certification is through like AFA or ACE. And so those are reversed in the UK. You can't get a specialty certification until you have your national certification. And so becoming a group fitness instructor is a little bit more complicated in the sense of you have to have some prior knowledge before they let you get that certification and start teaching.
Oh, so you have to be a personal trainer before you can take the class?
You can be either have your national personal training, or the national ones I have are group fitness.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's just the way the UK regulates it.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah.
I have a question. I've seen emails that they said, because I signed up for P90X, and I guess my instructor, well, he passed away after, but he, I guess he didn't have a lot of people in his class, so he canceled it. So they still send me email about let's get certified for P90X, but now they're doing it live, like you don't have to show up. Have you heard about that?
It's at the Y they do that?
No, it's a Beachbody email that they sent me.
I know. Okay. Yes. So we are doing online certifications. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Yes. So there's certain places, like I just did Country Heat. And so I had 17 people like this on a Zoom call. And the certification is the same. You learn the same things. It's just that you don't have a group to learn it with. But yeah, they haven't had any in a couple months, but I'm sure just be on the lookout. Whenever they have them, they put them online, and they usually send out the emails.
So don't you have to inspect people when they're doing the moves and stuff?
So that's the fun part. I had 17 screens up, and they were all doing it. So they were listening to my music, but the timing is different, right? Because the timing coming through is different. So everybody's moving on their own time. So as the instructor, I have to sit there and watch each little segment. And then when they're finished with the certification, they have a week, and they send me an actual home video of them doing it, either with a group of people or by themselves, so that I can kind of give them more personal feedback about what they were doing.
Okay. So does everyone who takes the class pass, or do some fail?
There can be failures. If there's, PIO's very musically based. So if you can't count music.
Yeah, I would certainly fail.
It's kind of hard to teach that one. But Insanity is probably one of the, when people tell me, where do I start? That is probably the best pre-design to start at, because the timing's always the same. There's a buzzer that tells you when to switch. So even if you don't hear music, you hear a buzzer. And moves are simple. Not that they're easy, but you only need to remember 4 moves per block. So versus, I've got PIO, which is 8 counts and 8 counts of stuff, and I never stop talking. Insanity, I can put you in a pattern of that squat or tuck jump, and you got 30 seconds to hold that while I'm walking around the room and one-on-one coaching. So when people, and also the fitness levels, like when people tell me, oh, I can't take Insanity because it's really too hard for me. Insanity is a coaching class. I need to do a couple good tuck jumps to show you how to do it correctly. But then I am all energy, and I'm walking around the room. and making sure everybody else is doing them correctly. So it's definitely more of a class where when I leave, I still need a workout because it wasn't my workout, and I didn't do like 3/4 of the workout. I just made everybody else do it.
Mm.
Yeah, that's what
Yes.
my instructor said. My instructor said the class that you're gonna teach is not for you. So you either do your own before or do it after, because you're basically like how he trained me. He basically started off everybody at a modified, but he didn't call it modified, so nobody feel offended. And then when he goes to the second round, he'll say, okay, now let's see if we could up it a little bit. And like the motivation of him pushing it made us push it without modifying. But and it gradually goes like that. And it's like you said, it's 4 moves per block. So it sounds hard, but it's really simple to follow through.
It is. And I really say for group fitness, what I do love about Beachbody versus other formats and other groups or types of certifications is you really get to be the person you are inside the format. Yes, it's pre-designed, so I don't need to know the science behind it because it's already made for me, so I just need to outlay what they give me. But I am definitely not the insanity instructor that's like a boot camp, yell at your person type of person. I'm more of like a cheerleader, everybody's amazing, I love you all kind of instructor, and I can be that and be a good insanity instructor. And you, Armando, can be like the really hardcore yelling at them, make sure that their knees to, butt to grass kind of person. And you can be a really good insanity instructor. So you get to have your own personality within the formats. And it's very hard in say, a Les Mill body pump class. At 212, you have to be at your row press. You can't change it. I've got a lot of leeway to create what my class needs.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Anyone else? Okay. Well, thanks a lot, Becky. I think that was definitely educational for me and hopefully for some other people. And I'm sure more people will watch the recording. So if there are other questions that come up, I'll forward them over to you. All right.
Please do. Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks, guys, for attending.
Thank you, Becky. Thanks, Greg.
Bye.
Bye.